What is happening? Welcome to another episode of The Craft. My name is Nick Pollock, and I gotta ramble. I gotta rant. I gotta talk about specific pitchers, and I gotta figure out what I should do. So I called up Eno. Eno, thank you so much for joining me as a special guest today on The Craft.
Oh, you're welcome for having me.
I am so thankful. And that was a weird phrase. I was like, I am well. Okay, cool. Don't worry. My brain is mush. There are two guys I have to talk about with you right away. Two. Are you going to right now in your 12 teamers add Griffin Jax or Zebby Matthews?
Oh, that's an interesting one because Zebby is weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's worse.
he's worse. Yeah. I mean, the breaking balls are slower. One thing I noticed in the minor leagues was that he didn't have a pitch that was above average by stuff plus against opposite-handed hitters.
Oh, yeah.
So he doesn't. And if you think about it, you're like, oh yeah, that's right. He's like a bunch of breaking balls guy, and the changeup's not that good. But he is locating really well for the first time. I'm a stuffist. I'm gonna go with Jax. One thing that I really like about Jax is that the K's came in the last time.
Oh
And
man. Yeah.
I've been really wondering where those K's had gone. I'd been worried that it was shape fatigue on the sweeper and that people were just not going to strike out on his sweeper anymore, but I don't think that was the case.
So you mean shape fatigue as in like the league is used to sweepers now?
Leagues, and then maybe his. I mean,
Oh, I see. Okay.
Have people seen it enough at this point? I mean, his is a very hard specific sweeper. So
you reminded me of a really dumb theory I have. I love these. These are the best ones, right? Nick's got a dumb theory. Okay. I was thinking about some of the guys who are overperforming this year, right? And you might not believe this, but right now Kumar Rocker has like a 360 ERA.
wow.
Yeah, but he has like a 140 whip, but he has a 360 ERA. You had Bryce Elder. You had Justin Robleski, right? And I mean, there are a couple others you could throw into this mix. Nick Martinez. And I started to think to myself, a lot of these, I mean, including Nick Martinez, are like 92, 93 with bad shape fastballs and a slow 82 mile per hour slider. Is this a case where the league is so used now to 96 and 89 that they see this and they go, I don't know what this is anymore?
Oh man, so like the fact that Griffin Jackson's sweeper is still 86 is that it's too common.
They're used to it. They know this. They've been playing this game for months now. I'm just, yeah, everybody's got this thing. It's all good stuff. Okay, all right. And then they go, what is this gravity pitch? I don't.
I mean it's a fair question. People have asked me that of the stuff model too, because if the stuff model is just looking for outliers, basically in some ways, wouldn't this count? But I think why ultimately velo is so important and why it should. Okay, this actually is interesting. Velo is so important because of timing. You have to make your decision earlier. You have to decide earlier. Right. So in some ways, you could still be right that velo is good, but in these cases, they're upsetting the timing of the hitters. Yeah. They're timed. The average fastball velo is now 95 miles an hour. So they're timed to 95. You come in there with 92. They have to slow it down. It's a little bit why, sometimes even a position player will come in and pitch a clean inning.
There you go. There it is.
But how hard is it? But how hard is it to do the easier thing? You know what I mean?
Well, right.
If you sitting 95 and somebody comes in with 99 or 100, you got to work your way up. But if you're 95 and somebody comes in with 92, it's got to be easier to.
Well, I mean, there's an easy solution. And I got to say, this is another whole tangent of how every single batter stands in the same place in the back of the box. Like, can we normalize this a little bit in some ways? Because everyone just removes the chalk line. And so that you can't really tell if they're in the box or not.
Crawford is like on the other side of the box.
So like, what are we doing? What is the point of this? Right. But what used to happen, I mean, this was actually a thing in high school. We would get like a we would be hitting against 75 or something like that, then someone be like 60 or 65 and we'd feel
Oh,
weird
move
about it. We
up in
didn't
the box?
exactly.
Uh,
So everyone's
when
just
the
so used to
92
that.
feels like 95.
Well, right. Now it feels like what you're used to. I mean, also, and I mean, think about like like a slider at 82. It's less
Oh,
time for it to drop, right?
it's not crazy, dude, because when we went to the batting cages, remember at First Pitch Arizona,
Oh yeah.
and there
How
was
could I forget?
the easiest one was like 50 or something?
Yeah.
I went into that one, I could not make contact for the life of me, and I was like, "What is wrong with me?" Like,
You're
I
swinging
and
way
then I
too
went
hard
in
too fast. Yeah.
I went into the 70 and was made contact on the like, not every pitch, but,
No,
most
but
of the
it,
pitches.
it was everyone, guys. It was everyone. I was there. It was every pitch.
No, no, I did not do amazingly. I was not one of the standouts. There were some standouts, but I just it was for me personally, I made a lot more contact on 70 than 50. 50 was
Yeah.
I couldn't wait long enough, and then once I swung, it was too fast, I think. So
Now, the thing is, of course, we're talking about 96 to 92,
we're not talking about
93.
20 miles an
It's
hour
not that
difference.
big, but the thing is, when we talk about, like, it's a game of inches, centimeters, and everything, that little
Mm.
extra it doesn't quite read necessarily as that much different, but it is, and it changes the timing enough. It's a stupid theory is what I said,
But
everyone.
Elder's been in the
But
league. Elder's been in
right.
the league. It's not the first time people were seeing him. I would buy your theory a little bit more if, like, he was a rookie that came up and, like, lit the world on fire for a half, and people were just like, "I don't know, it's weird. It's just weird."
Yeah.
And then they saw him a couple times, you know?
Yeah.
But
It is a strange perspective. Like, how did Kyle Hendricks work for so long almost? Like, sure, location and some movement, but it is so slow, and it's you would think that I think that no one cared enough to invest in beating Kyle Hendricks. Does that make sense? Like, everyone is just, "I'm just
oh,
gonna"
no one really spent too much time, like, putting together a game plan and figuring it
Right.
out. They were just like, "That's just the one guy, and we should be able to hit him. He throws 90."
Exactly. But because it's too weird, they're not adjusting to it. But now that everyone needs to prepare for the hardest, stuff, the best stuff ever, they're like, "Oh, here's not that." And
Yeah.
I don't
I
know what
mean,
to do.
it's possible. I would say that, and I watched your breakdown of Elder, and I've watched some Elder, and I do think the cutter probably is helping some helping them helping make the hitters make worse decisions.
Yeah.
But I don't
Yeah, right.
buy it.
You saw that Dodgers one, like, there's a fastball to Ohtani that he's hits for home runs so many times, and he's just like, "Nah."
It just happened to though also be what Otani is struggling with right now. The
Mm,
Otani right now is not hitting the high fastball, so
sure.
maybe it's good game planning. There could be good game planning there. Mike Fast, who came from the Astros, is with the Braves, and that was one thing that they were supposedly legendary for at some point was really dialing in the game planning and the defensive positioning and the pitching planning. So
Mhm.
we do have some outliers and some really good performances from Atlanta pitchers that are somewhat surprising. I mean, we have Didier Fuentes' three-finger fastball, and we've had some pop-up guys like Schwellenbach was a great discovery.
We just saw 10 strikeouts from Martin Perez.
Right. So
That was
like,
36% of his strikeout total before this game in 9 starts.
but you can't just be like, okay, well, the Braves are the new Astros, so I like every Braves young pitcher because J.R. Ritchie didn't work out.
Do
So
you okay, that's another conversation just about I'm so not buying I only buy, like, the ultimate extremes of good development, bad development. I would say in
yeah.
general, I'm just like, "No, I don't buy that because 3 good pitchers showed up," as you're outlining, that
But it
now,
does changes
you
so
know?
fast too. Like I would have said bad development, Angels, easy.
Yeah,
Um,
Nationals,
Urania is working out okay,
Athletics.
and Nationals are working really hard to change
When
that.
they've right, they have improved. Like,
Right.
they've overhauled everything. No more, like, doesn't matter how hard you throw a ball 4. That's gone. That is gone. That never happened. I just made it up. See, I forgot about it already. And the Angels,
But
Mike Maddox, obviously a good addition there. Um, it's
yeah,
Robert
he
Arena
has
is an
been good.
interesting one that you bring up though, because I would actually classify that not as a development thing. That is raw, right? That like he throws hard and he found a grip for a changeup. Like, that's how I see him,
Yeah,
right?
I don't know. Like, yeah, I think he needs more. I think he
Right,
needs more development. Like, I think there's another step where he could actualize himself. And I think that's where the comps to Jose Soriano work because you're like, okay, this is a foundation,
right,
but like you're not a top end starting pitcher yet.
right,
And and how long will it take you? And I'm still have a little bit of that. Well, it's the Angels, so I think it'll be on the longer side, but
right.
maybe with Maddox it's different. Um, with, Zebby, I didn't realize
Oh,
this,
he's bringing
though.
it back. I was gonna do it, but you kept going at Zebby. So Zebby,
Stuff loved this last start against Houston.
what? I mean, the
106 Stuff
fastball
was.
velocity came back to what it was last year, but it's still a tick or two down on all of the secondaries. Like 86, 87 on the slider, not 88, 89.
That's right.
Um, Read the SB Roundup, guys, every day covering it.
But
And I'm not there with Zebby. And also, you mentioned location plus with Zebby. I understand that it's good for. I mean, he has a 2% walk rate right now, right? Like he's throwing in the zone. Awesome. I don't love his locations and I don't love him commanding inside the zone. It was one of my biggest issues about him last year was that Zebby would throw a lot in the zone, but it'd be very hittable, had a high home run rate, I believe, because of that. But it just wasn't dominating guys. He would have a really nice slider underneath the back foot. He would get some whiffs here and there. And then when he throw these strikes, it'd be like, oh, cool. Here's a hittable cutter. Go and do something with the cutter. Right. And it isn't like I look at Landon Roop right now. Oh my gosh, that is a guy who's commanding with like the best location in my view of any of the young guys.
those, like,
It's
high front
crazy
hip
good.
sinkers or whatever.
It's just the best pitch separation I've seen. You can look at one play and go, I know exactly what he's trying to do with every pitch. It's
Well,
remarkable.
another
Um,
thing that
yeah,
Zebby has done, though, that is good, is that he's a 6-pitch pitcher now
I yeah.
with
Changeup isn't used that much. It's like what you throw like six of them, four.
11%, 16% last 2 times.
Okay,
Those would be
okay,
those would be decent for him. Also, like, he used to really lean into that slider and,
yeah.
early on, he was like a 30% slider guy, and since he's come up 15% and 13% slider, so
Mhm.
I think he's diversified his mix. I all this to say, I was gonna be negative on Zebby, but I think it might be interesting. Jax, though, I'm still taking Jax, and
Good.
the main
Okay.
reason is that I think he's survived the transition. I think the
I don't know yet.
transition.
I don't know yet. It's
Well, I'm speaking a little bit specifically of the stuff model where like he's
okay.
still above average as a starter with Stuff
Right.
Plus, and I think he's fiddling around with his fastball percentage. That he got the most Ks as a starter in this last start, and he threw the fewest four seam fastballs.
Cutters. I
Um, yeah,
last week, I was like, "Oh, man, Griffin Jacks, dude, you're like a discount, Rasmussen. You've got this amazing four-seamer and this 93 cutter, and, like, those 2 I feel good about. The other ones, I don't know yet. Those are gonna be developing. We'll see what happens." And then what does he do yesterday? He throws, like, 10 cutters and four-seamers combined. He threw
yeah.
4 four-seamers in his first 6 pitches, and then he threw 1 in the 5th. And then everything else was sinkers. It like and he succeeded with everything else. It was 50% called strikes on the sinker. The changeup went 15 for 16 strikes. It was
It's also the best
incredible.
changeup he's ever thrown.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That was awesome.
So
But he's only did over 62 pitches. That's the only thing I have the pushback on, like making the transition
right,
because he hasn't
yeah.
gone over 70 yet. And when he gets to 75, 80 or so, then it's like, all right, I know you've held the
And how long
60
will
to
they keep him
96.
holding there, right? Like, how
Right.
long will they keep in a
And there's
holding
that part
pattern?
too. He's not gonna be so efficient to go 5 innings on 62 pitches all the time, you know?
Mm.
So, it's a weird moment of like, "All right, you could have done it." I know it was a 1-1 game, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna be afraid of the 3rd time through the lineup because 'cause we're the Rays." And, I mean, they should, but you know what I mean? Just please let me just see the guy and just throw him out there for the 6th. We will see it, right? It was with Rasmussen last year. Everyone's like, "Oh, no, we're never gonna see it." We saw it. Shane McClanahan eventually got there, right? They will, um, but how much will we in the end, right? And will that velocity stick at its high? I don't know. I have Jax above Zebby. Sounds like you do too. How high can Jax go for you?
I think he could enter the top 40.
Yeah, right? He's
Yeah.
in the dome too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. A
Yep.
plus stuff on PLV cards yesterday for
I've got
Griffin Jax.
a potential buy low for you. I
Oh.
don't I don't know. I don't know. Reid Detmers
No.
is the stuff is going the wrong direction.
Yeah.
But in that last start last night, uh he went so I checked in, I think it was like 2 or 3 innings in, 5 strikeouts, no walks. I'm like, "Ah, perfect. Lovely." Somebody even asked me, "Should I start Detmers tonight?" I was like, made the right decision."
Yeah, right.
I go look away. I look back. It's 6-0 Angels. I mean, 6-0 Athletics. And I'm, what the hell happened? So I rewound a little bit, and they were hitting changeups outside of the zone for
Yeah, they
hits.
hit 2 of them that were changeups outside. There were some bad fastballs and sliders in the middle that they punished, but there were 2 of them that were definitely away that just they got to. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like Location Plus said, it wasn't his best night on the changeup, but it doesn't point to like location being a problem on any of his pitches really over the
Mhm.
course of the year. But the stuff has been going down. The stuff on his fastball has been going down. The velo is steady, so it's a loss of vertical ride. Why?
Mhm.
And what happens when pitchers lose vertical ride in the middle of the season? Is it injury, fatigue? What's going on there? Because if he got his ride back on the four seam, I'd say four seam slider curve with the occasional change. It, he's made this work before, and it looked pretty good to start the season.
So, my view of it is, what was it, 22 when he first arrived? Maybe it was 21? Uh, 3 years, 3 straight years of Reid Detmers in the spring flashing the most beautiful back foot slider. Oh, gosh. Oh, man, righties, look out. You're not gonna touch this thing. And what does he do? He comes out, oh boy, guns a-blazing. It's like a good month of everything cooking. And then every single time the slider goes away and he loses the slider feel. There was once he was sent down to the minors, Buddy Carlisle had to fix it for him, and he fixed it for a time, and then he lost it again.
That's
And my
not good because
biggest
that's his
thing
best
was
pitch.
I don't trust the Angels organization to fix it in season is what I've constantly said about it. So as he's been doing well, my whole thread has been slider is looking great until it hasn't. The last 3 games, the slider has not been this reliable back foot pitch to righties. I want to say it was 2 or 3 ago that he had this good game, but the slider was like all over the place. I don't know what I just did with my hand, but that was it. And this was another where it just wasn't that consistent back foot slider. That is my worry with him. And I'm not sold that it will come back to being the overwhelming, as you like to say, destroyer of worlds pitch. So
I don't
as
know.
much
I
as
think
I
it's.
want to, I have him over there from his no hitter as a bobblehead. I can't.
I asked. Sergio Romo. Uh, I asked his pitching coach, Dave Righetti,
Mm-hmm.
legendary Dave Righetti. I
Yeah.
asked him, with Romo, like he throws so many sliders, and sometimes it goes away and he gives up homers. And he was just like, yeah, when you throw that many sliders, you're going to throw hangers.
Right.
And, a hanger at 85 or 86 is easier than a misplaced fastball at 95 or 96. So, um,
Hmm.
he is a guy who perennially throws about a third of his pitches as sliders, or at least if you add in breaking balls, or a third to 40% of his pitches every year are breaking balls. So I would just say that maybe it just comes and goes, and nobody knows.
You can't read it? Yeah, okay.
I
That's
I
yeah.
I fall back on good strikeout rate, good walk rate. Weirdly enough, though, he has always had a bad whip, even when
Because he's
he's been
hittable.
good.
He's
which is weird to
hittable.
say about someone who has a 26% strikeout rate. I mean,
Well, I
that's
think that
that's
actually is really
comfortably
telling
above
though with the
average.
conversation we're having, right? That
Yeah.
he's not always gonna execute the slider.
Hmm.
So when he executes the slider, there you go. Bam, done. But when he it's like the Dylan Cease problem, you know?
Yeah, with lesser stuff.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That went without saying. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry, but yes.
Well, I still think he's interesting in the deepest of leagues, but,
Oh, yeah, well, I agree with that completely, like, just if anyone can get that strikeout rate, and I do like that he has the former changeup as opposed to the split variety.
but
Um,
it
yeah.
is a hard thing to do to buy low in
Yeah.
a fantasy league because you can tell yourself a story about, like, why all these people have sucked, and you then have to be like, I still want them,
Yeah.
because I just did a simple thing where, I'm looking at qualified starting pitchers. I sorted them by the wrong way by ERA, and I'm looking at guys who are above average by stuff for pitching plus. I get Yuri Perez. I mean, I get a lot of the names you're expecting to hear. Ryan Nelson,
Well, he's great,
um,
so
Jesus Luzardo, Dustin May is a slightly
yeah,
interesting one.
Dustin May is much better than his first 2 starts.
Yeah,
Um,
Fromber, Gilbert. And I sort these pretty easily, I think, into guys you can't even buy low because people are like, "Oh, I see you coming a mile away. Yeah, you want Logan Gilbert. I get it,
right, yeah,
but I don't think he's going to give up like 2 homers per nine all season. So, no, you can't
right,
have Logan Gilbert."
and
And
then yeah.
that's probably true of Fromber too.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then there's
Fromber
the
is the ultimate pendulum, yeah.
yeah, but then there's the other side, which is like, and I would put Jesus there because either the other person has rage dropped him and you get to pick
Yeah.
him up for free, or the other
Yeah,
person is looking at all the same numbers you are and is saying, "No, this is gonna turn around."
yeah,
So,
exactly.
I think Jesus would be hard to. And then the other bin is, do I actually want to buy? Which, I think increasingly Yuri's like in that one just because you're like, when will he figure out the command?
Yeah.
Will it be this year? You know? Um, so I don't know who that for me, Detmers and like maybe Ryan Nelson, fit in this, oh, you can actually get him if you want him, like pretty
Sure.
easily.
So
But then it ends up being probably on the waiver wire, right? It's like,
right, I mean, that is a way of buying low though,
that's
of
true.
you
Yeah.
are saying, "Great, cool, I'm gonna go after this instead of that." Like, this is gonna sound absolutely bonkers. I have a very good rotation in my hometown 12-teamer, more at 11. I mean, if I didn't, honestly, I feel like I would just be you shouldn't be listening to me at all. I got into a situation though, believe it or not, where I this is a 6 by 6 quality start league.
Oh boy.
I dropped Sandy Alcantara to pick up Troy Melton. And I know it sounds
Oh.
crazy. It sounds bonkers, right? At the same time, I didn't wanna deal with it anymore. I realized that, like, it's there's a thought process you have to have where I am sure I have a higher upside here with Alcantara if he goes off and does it, but I'm putting myself in harm's way when I don't have to. I have such a good rotation. I have such a good floor with it that he's actually giving a way for me to not do well, you know? And even though, yeah, I probably should have traded him for something, but then I see Troy Melton there. I'm like, Troy Melton's exactly the kind you want because I'll know if he's locked in or not right away. And then great, I've got Troy Melton for the year, you
Yeah, and
know?
I think
And
with
yeah,
Sandy, if you play the like, oh, just play him at home or just avoid certain things, you'd actually could get screwed a little bit because it's like if you played him only at home, then you would have missed some really good starts at LA Dodgers. That was a good start. 6 innings, 4 strikeouts, 2 earned. At Tampa, his last one. Oh, that was great. Okay,
oh
say, all
yeah,
right, I'll play him at Tampa and I'll play him at Detroit, but I'll miss the Dodgers one. That's fine. Then you get Baltimore at home, 7 earned,
yeah, right,
and you go, oh, at Detroit, yeah, I want that one, 7 earned. So it is he's a
yeah.
little bit more on the precipice. I mean, it's a little bit more
Like so,
it
that's like
could
the
go
ones where
either
like, okay,
way.
do I want to buy low? Do I not? I mean, that's the kind of stuff where if you're buying low, it's about I'm in a bad situation and I need to find any sort of tether, anything that can pull me back into this in a big
I think
way
in
as
leagues that are
opposed
deep
to
enough where you also would just set and forget him, where you're just like,
right.
this is good. Like he's a good enough pitcher. He'll give me a high threes, maybe low fours, but I need to just plug him in because I don't have anything else. And that there's a lot of people that describes
oh
because
my
right
gosh,
now
yes.
pitching
It's like
so
Sonny
many
Gray.
injuries.
Sonny
Yeah.
Gray, Robbie Ray. So sorry about last night, guys. That was one of the weirdest starts I've ever seen from him. Or 2 nights ago. What was this? A grand slam on 6 pitches into
Oh
the
my
game?
good lord. Yeah. I mean,
How?
just
How does
wrecked
this
his
happen?
numbers
He
for the
threw
year.
the ratio of like high location for fastballs and changeups were reversed. He threw more high location changeups than four seamers. This is the guy who I call having the mohawk. Like it's only high fastballs, just red going back. There's like nothing that's even sometimes in the zone with his four seamer. And he threw more changeups high than four seamers. That was the what? That was wild. But it does make me think of an interesting point I heard about buy low and sell high, all that kind of stuff. Fantasy managers consider things a little differently than you'd think. I'm going to tell you what that is after this break. This is a really simple idea. And then this is why trades don't happen. When it comes to starting pitchers in your fantasy leagues, there are far fewer guys that everyone universally likes than you think. When it comes to trading for a starting pitcher, it's like 10 guys that people are like, oh yeah, good. I know I'm going to get something great here.
Right. The consensus, you look at all the different ranks or whatever, the consensus top 10 or whatever.
Everyone else is not good enough for my hitter.
Yes.
It's just, that's how it is. And if you want to actually buy low, it's Gavin Williams. Gavin Williams is the true one. I think I have him in the top 30 right now for myself, which is kind of wild considering he had like 3 or 4 bad outings recently or something along those lines. Because the last 6 games, he started the first 3 I think, yeah, this is what it is. First 3 games, it's like a sub 60% strike rate, 65, sub 60%. And then every game since, say for one that was 65%, has been above 70% strikes. And when you think about Gavin Williams, you think about, oh yeah, he's a high walk guy. He's like, doesn't have command of all his pitches. Sometimes it's just the four seamer and the slider and the sweeper now, I guess, and the curveball. They're all like, I don't know, are you going to be in the zone or not? 70% strikes consistently now. And for Gavin, who's never been you tell me, but not a low stuff guy, to finally also have strikes behind it in a situation in Cleveland where they just, started by Tito, who went to get another popsicle, so they forgot to take out their starter. That is such a great place to pitch. So I'm a huge fan now of Gavin Williams. I wasn't initially, but he's showcased that he's a high strike guy. There's your buy low that people would be like, I don't know if I want to do that or not. And I'm all in.
Yeah, he was just below the fold, and there's 72 qualified pitchers, and by reverse sorting by ERA, he's 31st, so he's just underneath the fold when I was looking at it. I mean, it's interesting to say buy low on a guy with a 3.67 ERA. That's sort of almost like buying at
3.67. Oh no. I was thinking of like didn't he have some bad ones recently?
Yeah, but he also has had some good ones. So I mean, I actually like that. It's just, hey, buy something at a price that's, his owner might have seen some of the recent blowups and say, hey, this isn't going to last, and I'm going to get off this train. So
there's now, is this a buy low? Someone that I think when it comes to, I'm sure you have this too. Actually, I want to hear what it is for you. But when I first started pitcher gifts in 2014, and it came pitcher list in 2015, this was the first guy that everyone hated that I said, no, this guy is legit, and you all are being silly. It's Aaron Nola. And I'm the reverse now. Even today, Aaron Nola has gone, it looks like it's 5 innings of 4 earned runs, 8 hits, 0 walks, 5 Ks against the Reds carpet. And I can't do this whatsoever. I mean, where are you on Aaron Nola?
Well, this is where the platoon splits come in for me because, the only pitch that he has that's above average against lefties right now is the curve.
It's always the curve.
Um,
It's always the
it's
curve.
always the curve. And that's what the curve is. Reason why Aaron Nola's been so good is that the curve is actually almost platoon zero. Like
Right.
it's just as good against both sides. And so that's a great pitch to have in your arsenal. But against righties, like he's like easily above average with the four seam, the sinker, and the curve. But against lefties, the change has never been that great. The four seam loses some of its ability, and then he's throwing a lot of sinkers and cutters, and the stuff model says he shouldn't throw as many of those. Plus, there's an aspect of command where he's not commanding the sinkers and cutters and four seams well against lefties.
No.
So, but
Yeah.
is that something that could change? I mean, because theoretically, I say, hey, why don't you just become a two pitch pitcher against lefties? Just be
Mm,
fastball curve. Could
yeah.
could he just reverse solve this instead of being like, oh, I have a wide arsenal, and be like, well, you're not locating any of them.
Were those the guys that come to your craft beer fests? Is that?
just
Oh man.
just taste the notes.
Oh, yeah. So I mean, today, for example, against lefties, it was 38% curveballs, 24% four seamers, and changeups at 22% with three cutters, three sinkers too.
That's
And the
better.
changeup was bad.
Did it work?
Changeup was bad. Oh, it did not
But
work today.
fewer sinkers and cutters is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it
Did it
was,
not
I
work?
mean, he actually looking at it just from location side, he only allowed one hit to lefties, of the 8 he let up in this game, and one was on a hanging curveball that was upstairs for a double on the ground from Nate Lowe in a 2-2 count. So
Hmm.
that worked, but against right-handers, oh boy, yeah, I take fault for this. This is on me. 3 inside sinkers for hits. And then two curveballs in the zone for hits, a cutter on the outside edge, a fastball in there too. So those are those 7 hits for Aaron Nola. What I've generally seen is just he can't command the fastballs like he used to. This used to be the
It's
best.
so
He used to
weird
bat.
because he's the command guy.
Yeah, and he's just not now.
But shouldn't you bet on that to come back?
I don't know. What is the most undeniable thing in the world?
Age?
Time, age,
Yeah.
right? It gets harder. He has a
But
604 ERA, 156 WHIP after this in 50 innings
there's
for
no
Aaron Nola.
obvious downturn in his location numbers, his walk rates. I guess maybe his
I mean, 11 hit per
home
9.
run rates. Home run rates. If you look at his home run rates,
Yeah.
he was below 1 for a long time, then he was low ones, and then in 2023, 149, 2024, 130, 1.35, 1.72, 1.77. So the home runs might be telling us something about his age there.
I mean, it's also he hasn't improved and everyone else has around him, right? Like
He added the
fastballs and
cutter.
stuff are
It's like
not
the
as
last
effective.
idea he came up with was the
Yeah.
cutter, right?
And he's pretty much the same kind of thing that he has been for about 10 years. And 10 years ago, we weren't talking about 96 being the average fastball.
That's
You know,
true.
it's a little different now. And look, a lot of strikes, 71% strike rate in this game, but 8 hits, 11 hit per 9 on the year, 1.6 homer per 9 on the year. It's just not the same as it used to be. And
And
it's
that was
very
Reds
sad.
on the road, huh?
Yeah, that was the Reds on the road. So the Reds carpet. But the Reds carpet is better these days. It is Sel Stewart and Ellie De La Cruz and friends.
Yeah, I can't. I guess I can't do it. I mean, I see a real weakness here against lefties. It's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, that has been a problem, a bane for Aaron Nola for a long time. And there are other guys that I gotta pick Eno's brain about. I'm gonna do that after this break. All right.
Ooh, I got to buy low for you, actually.
Eno's got another buy low. He's got for real. This is what he came out of the break saying last time. But what is it this time? What do we got?
Rock solid.
Rock
I would do this.
Okay, give me hints.
Roki Sasaki.
That is not. Okay, cool. Next hint. Oh man, Roki Sasaki. Okay,
I'm buying the 2 splitters. I'm buying it.
that's what it is?
Yeah,
The forkball and the splitter?
I'm buying it. He can command the splitter, I think.
Well, which one? The splitter, not the
So
forkball.
I'm just saying, think of the splitter as a sinker. 4-seam sinker, gyro, fork.
So splinker.
Yeah.
So, okay. I have so many thoughts here. One,
It can't
the
cost
number
much,
one
first of
change
all.
that I saw actually on Monday, I think it was,
Uh,
or Sunday night, or maybe it was Sunday. It was Sunday. Was his slider command.
mm.
He finally actually had a strike heavy slider pitch. This is a thing that he really introduced in spring this year. Like, hey, are you gonna throw a slider or a cutter or something? And he has his
Mhm.
gyro slider. Cool, awesome. It's an 86, supremely average gyro slider. It's like the baseline one.
And the
But
command really goes in and out of it.
exactly. And it was the first time that I saw it finally land on the outside edge to right-handers consistently. He did it all game. Great. Love that. The forkball versus the splitter. I had a lot of difficulty understanding from the data why Savant decided to do it. Because I don't see much of a movement difference between the two. There is a little bit more cut on the forkball. Vert wise,
The
it's like the
velo.
same. The
It's the
velo is down
velo.
like 2 ticks. When I think of a forkball versus a splitter, I'm thinking a fork at like 84 and a splitter at 91, right? Or like a 90. Like that
He
is the difference to me. You're supposed to throw the splitter really
he
hard
had
and have a
one
ton of
start.
action,
He
and the
had one start with
forkball
the
is supposed
fork.
to be the big curve loop to it,
He had one
right?
start with it was 86 on the fork and 90.4 with the split.
That's on Sunday. I saw it at 88 and 86.
No, that was the start before that. Yeah,
Okay.
88 and 86 is, you're right. That's pretty close. And in terms of vertical, horizontal movement, I don't know. I see a 3-inch difference in, at least in the
That is not
Savant
what a
data.
split and a forkball should be.
Yeah, you
Forkball
think it should
is
be
like
much.
supposed to be this big looping Jose Contreras forkball, right? Like you see that a mile away is like a curve almost in depth. Well,
All right,
splitters.
you've introduced doubt in my mind, which is not hard because I've been out on Roki for so long. But I just think that theoretically, also what I'm hoping for in this situation is that it's not a high cost acquisition.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've been saying don't ever roster Roki all year. So the fastball still isn't fastball added 3 inches of ride, like actual like horizontal ride, not rise, right? And
Oh, that's not ride, dude. Ride is vertical.
I don't understand that.
Just call it horizontal, man.
That's the thing. We have rise. And I've always, whenever growing up and everything, everybody called horizontal two seamer ride was
Hmm.
horizontal, right? So like that's ride
Okay.
to me, and then you have rise, but I know that people call it ride two going up. I don't know, whatever. He had 3 inches to the right. Okay.
I call it fade. I call that fade.
Oh, fade requires depth though.
Yeah, I know.
It's like two.
Then run. How about
Run
run?
is
That's
good. Run
run.
is good. Run,
That's run.
which
So
Eno needs to do, and I got to wrap up this podcast. Oh my gosh. Um, but yeah, he did add 3 inches of horizontal to it.
you had a name for me. All right. You
But
put doubt in my mind, but I'll
Roki's an
just say
interesting one.
let that make the rookie cost go down. You're taking a real flyer end of bench. You know, you're not giving up much to get him.
Okay. I mean I'm okay. So you're talking if we're talking buy lows, I'm really surprised that like say Connor Prelib is like still sub 20% rostered. Makes no sense to me. I don't know.
Mm.
I think he's incredible. I think he's part of that whole group. Not really the thing we're supposed to focus on right now. You ready for
What's
this?
that? Yeah, I'm ready.
JT Ginn.
No hints?
No hits.
Dude, the saddest way
Oh my god.
to end a no-hit bid.
Oh my god.
My heart went out for him. And then to hear, I mean, the sadness in Dallas Braden's voice and just everybody that he had a no-hitter and then he didn't even have the win.
Like the game
It
just
was
ended.
awful.
Just
Yeah,
over.
just over. It's like nothing to do. They can't be like, "Oh, get at them, boys! Like, get some runs." Nope, the game is over.
Oh gosh. It's like Harvey Haddix almost, It's just
What
oh
I
man.
saw in that one was just when he can, if he can really locate, The days where he really locates, he's fine. I think he has the stuff to dominate righties, and against lefties, it's just if he's dotting, he could do something like he did last
Mhm.
in that game. But like if he's not dotting, I don't think he can get by. Like he doesn't have any stuff numbers that are above average. The closest is the sinker, 98 stuff plus against lefties. It's barely good enough. But none of his other pitches really rates that highly.
Yeah, it was a game where I get so stoked watching the most beautiful command. I
Yeah.
mean, really, I cannot express enough. The ideal for every sinker, same-handed batter is exactly what JT Ginn there did in that game.
Change up just right along the bottom.
Oh my god, and just the 2 spots of the sinker, up and in, and then down and away, and there's no in between, like, at all.
Hmm.
And then he even had cutters inside to lefties, like, "Aha, I got you there." It's just oh my god, and, I mean, that's always been the fun part of Ginn is, like, you've seen that before, right? We've seen him actually be that kind of arm, and then it goes away, and it's just like, "Oh, well, never mind. That was a
I
fun
think
little
it's I
run."
think that's the command. I think it's just,
Yeah.
and then
That's
on top of it, I would say, hey, could this be a buy high situation?
oh.
But then you have to depend on the command, and you have to have some fortitude to play him, because I don't think Sacramento is even. It got a little bit crazy in this last homestand against St. Louis. I think it can get even crazier going forward. They had gusts of wind that like the outfielders just looked lost. And
Mm. Yeah.
Harrison Bader hit an opposite field grand slam that looked like a single.
Was it
I
was
mean,
I saw a clip of, like, a check swing that was, like that went super far. I mean, this is in the talk with Tom Tango and Rob Freeman about what a check swing should
the
be.
oh,
And
and they showed a check swing in Sacramento that was like almost a
I
home
think
run.
it might have been there, it might have been somewhere else,
Oh,
but
because
I
the
mean
point they were
yeah.
to making the point like this is not a check swing if you hit it and it goes this far.
Right. And, like, it's free Rob was saying, like, "Look, that's not the 45 degrees, it's, like, you pretty much lateral maybe a little bit more, and it goes into the outfield and right in front of the outfielder for a hit." It's like, that's clearly a swing
A
in that way. It's an
swing.
interesting argument, but you could also say, like, "Look, the plane of the bat could be negative then too, and you could still do the same thing." To me, it's about I know this is gonna sound wild, it's if it's in the path of the ball. Like, if it should be if it's a swing to me if the bat can collide with the ball at any point
Oh, but
during the path.
is that subjective?
Well, no,
Or
no,
you can
you
make that
can, like
objective?
you can,
You make that objective in the moment?
yeah, right, you can be able to
Technologically?
calculate I mean, imagine what I'm saying if they're really, like, challenging it or something. They can
Mm,
assess, like, "Alright, cool. Is this at a point where if he was better at making contact or whatever, like, it would have collided and been fair?" Right? Does that make sense?
I just think that yes, it makes sense, but I don't know that it's a useful one for playing baseball.
Mm,
I don't know that it would like would you be able to have the technology to answer that question in the moment right away? Bing, Statcast says yes. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I
so,
mean, I would
and
say, like,
another
you
way
just
that
have
I
it
think
over
of it
the
is
you have a bird's eye angle or something, and then you
I think of it as
can
releasing the barrel.
mm,
So, when you're check swinging, like there's parts of the swing where it's obviously not a swing, because the bat is still pointing back,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So I do think that the angle is not a bad place to start because that's when you're releasing the barrel. When you release the barrel, that's a swing. If you release the barrel all the way, 45 degrees, I just think that 45 degrees is very obviously a swing and that it should be less than
yeah,
that.
oh,
Because
yeah,
by 45 degrees, like that's definitely a swing. But there's moments before that where we could use as well. I
yeah,
at some point it's going to be a subjective thing. And I also think it's going to be a numbers based thing where I think if they do 45 degrees, strikeout rates will rise a lot in the minor leagues where they test it. So I think they'll realize that we don't want to do 45 degrees because the strikeout rates are going through the roof.
wait, 45 degrees would increase strikeouts?
No, you're right, I guess.
It would decrease it because
Because
it's
that's
not
way
check
out in
swinging
front.
all the way to that. I
But
mean, sorry,
then
it's a check swing until it's 45 degrees is my point.
there's, like, the question of, um, like, are those swings that we wanna add to our viewing experience? The ones that are less than 45 that get stopped, you know what I mean? And don't
Yeah.
get called as swings? Do we
By
wanna
the way,
see more of that?
I'm totally backtracking my whole thing, by the way. My theory is dumb. Of like when like the trying to figure out if the bat is in the plane of the travel.
Uh-huh.
I'm just trying to think of like ways that we can express this. Obviously, for all of us, it's the barrel of the bat has to be greater than 0 degrees. Like that to us just makes innate sense. I think what I'm trying to get rid of is the like
0
this
degrees off the
negative
ground?
one, right? Well, to the plate, to the front of home plate.
Uh-huh.
Uh, that is your parallel. If you pass that in any way, then it's a swing. If it's
Aha.
below that, it's not. The problem is that you can easily hit things to right field. I mean, that's how things get hit to right field. The contact of the bat is not
Exactly.
parallel. It's just not a little bit, and that's there. So that doesn't quite answer the problem, and in my view, and
And you
I'm
can
trying to
even
figure
not
out like a
release the
solution to
barrel
that.
fully and hit balls to the right field.
Right? Yeah, and oh, completely. That's what going with
Yeah.
the pitch means, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And, like, I think about bunts. I hate this. Guys go up to the plate and they square for a bunt, and then they pull back, and as they're pulling back, it tips the ball, and it's like, "Yeah, you fouled it," but then, like, how is that not a swing if it didn't? It doesn't quite add up to me. So, how I kind of think of it, I'm trying to rationalize, like, okay, path of the ball if the bat is there. Maybe it's something about, like, the percentage or, like, the how much amount of time it's there, or, like, what is there's gotta be something that showcases intent without taking advantage of it. And I think really ultimately just 0 degrees. Let's just that is by far the one that everyone on TV can agree with watching the game. The players would agree with what we know already, like
And I think they
established
may
as a
not wanna do that one because it might increase strikeout rate.
right. Well then, be better hitters. I mean,
Touche.
look, that's what everyone expects right now. Everyone in the dugout expects that. When they go down, they go and check it. They're waiting for it to be past this. The guy at first, the umpire, that's what he's calling it as, right? I mean, right now,
Yeah, I
that's
don't think he's
what they're
using
trying to do.
45 degrees right now.
No, they're using the 0.
Did he cross the plate or did he yeah.
Right. Like, am I seeing the cap of the barrel or not,
Yeah, am I seeing the end of the barrel at all? Yeah, that's true,
right?
yeah.
And, like, that's
Yeah.
the 0 degree mark. So, everyone's in agreement with that. Let's just start there and see how it goes. And if you say increases strikeouts, well, then it's like, well,
Maybe
we've
maybe
been over
then
this
maybe
problem
then 30
before.
degrees is the answer or 20 or 15 or whatever, yeah.
Nah.
I'm not excited for this rule. This is not one that I really want, I don't think.
Interesting.
I get the precision aspect of it, but I'm a little bit afraid. Like like when you put in a number and you say, "Okay, this is a check swing." I feel like you could train as a hitter to stop right before that because now you have an objective number, right?
And
So
now you
then
have a torn pectoral muscle.
because you just you full swung up until 20 degrees and stopped. I mean, that's a good point. But I just think there might be some secondary aspects that we haven't fully anticipated where now everyone has a uniform check swing that goes to just exactly the moment before it's called a strike and they do it every time. Wouldn't baseball look weird if everybody did that?
Yeah.
Like
I
every
mean
swing went to like right before where it was and stopped or went through. It would just I don't know. It'd be too much, I think.
but here's the thing, aren't they already doing that at 0?
They're doing a fair amount of it. There's a lot of I mean, because the whole philosophy of hitting right now is sort of yes, yes, no, right? Which is
Right.
like you
You're
gotta get
swinging until
started,
you're
you gotta
not,
go. Yeah,
in which
exactly.
I can't believe I cannot stand the phrase, "It is a physical impossibility to hit a fastball." And, like, this, it's like, you only have 600 milliseconds
Oh,
to
that whole
decide,
thing. The
and it's
hardest thing in
not
sports.
what's happening. They're already swinging,
Oh, right, like, you're not starting from 0 yeah,
right?
you gotta time with the pitcher for sure.
It's just I hear that so often. But right, so it's like it's a swing, swing, not swing, right? And players already trained for that 0, you
Yeah.
know? So, extending it a little further, I think it actually improves them. a little. It gives him a little more leeway than what it currently is. And sure, let's say it's 10 degrees. Let's just make it 10 degrees. Call it a day. See how we feel. Right?
I don't know. For some reason, I'm nervous about this one.
Oh, man.
I'm also nervous about full ABS, by the way. I don't know that I
Full
want
ABS, I think, is bad. I don't think that's going to
I
happen.
want it.
No, I think there's something about the purity of the game where the umpire is still there. Like, you take away the umpire from baseball. Have you guys played a game of baseball or softball or something that isn't an umpire? It sucks.
I've done enough little league coaching where, even when the parents have to step in or whatever. It does
I
suck.
coach basketball, and there was a day like we had a bye, and we were supposed to go against the other bye team, but they didn't have refs for us because it was
So you
just a
just did a
scrimmage. Like, come
scrimmage
on,
or
guys, let
something.
them play. So I went up there, and I was the ref because like the whole thing just
It
changes
doesn't
without
even make
one
sense if you don't have a ref.
impartial party. And if you're
Yeah.
saying that it's the ABS system, no. It's totally different. You need a guy that's like, well, let's talk about this.
I've seen some Korean baseball clips of it, and I don't know. It didn't look that appealing to me.
It's sterile.
I think we need something to yell about. Honestly, I think we
Right.
need something to yell about. Like the players didn't even know who to yell at. There were times when like it just didn't feel like a strike, but they're like, well, it's a computer. So then like instead of this like big moment where there's emotion and it's baseball, there's like just a sad hitter walking away.
I'm going to end this podcast with this thought. There's a lot of fear about AI and everything like that. Understood completely here. And the main takeaway I have about it is that it is very helpful, but it always needs human intervention. It always requires human vetting. And that's what the ABS system is, and it works well. It is an AI thing, is whatever. It's computer, but then you have a human saying, is this good for us or bad for us? And the fact that
Mhm.
we step in and we say, hold on a second, let's check that, that creates the system that we want.
It's like
Right.
checks and balances instead of
Yeah.
just turning everything over to one thing or the other.
I don't want it. You don't want it. No one's challenging. Everything is fine. Right. Like, we don't need to step in with ABS unless somebody says we need it. That is what's so important about it.
Right.
Instead of being forced upon us. Right. That's the main differentiator with it here.
That's true. Like, how many fans will we also lose that already don't really love the challenge system, but would like really hate ABS? The challenge system, you can be like, okay, you only have to deal with it twice a game. Fan who doesn't like the fact that computers are here, right? It's a way to keep both fans somewhat happy. The ones that want more
Yeah.
computing, want more, they get the challenge system. The ones that don't want a computer in there, it's not full ABS. I don't know. It seems like a
Well,
compromise. It seems like a decent compromise.
Eno needs to run. I need to tell you that Stephen Kolek is the ultimate buy low. And we are going to talk about this again next week. Eno, what are you working on right now?
Working on a big piece about injury. We had a fun piece. Oh, you know what? I would recommend people to check out if they don't have a regular listener of the Rates and Barrels, and even you, Nick, you might enjoy this one. But we did a pod last week with Trevor May where we took angine de poitrine. It's like a math rock.
Oh yeah, I saw this. Yeah, the semitones of
we talked about microtones,
yeah.
and then we talked about Henry Davis's command model, where he says that the pitch before affects the command of the next pitch.
I agree with this.
And he thinks he can prove that. And we looked at some stuff with Paul Skeens, and there might be an aspect of that where he says that, if you call a high and away fastball to a righty and then a sweeper after it, the sweeper drifts upwards towards the target, the last target you used, basically.
I mean, think of it this way, guys. You practice a lot of jump shots. You're going to make adjustments relatively, and you're going to get used to one thing over and over.
And you make adjustments relative to the last one, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a whole thing I talk about. When you miss on a command, you go to a different pitch to get the release point back, and then you come back to it, right? Totally buy that. Completely.
Yeah, so Henry Davis back there thinking, not hitting.
Yeah. But I don't trust him, You want to know why?
Why?
2 first names.
2 first names. That's it.
It's unbelievable.
You're out of there.
Yeah. I've been ejected from this podcast. I got to end it, guys. Thank you so much, Eno Sayers, to be my special guest this week. My name is Nick Pollock, and we'll talk about the craft of pitching again next week.